didn't watch any fucking. I'm still protesting Raw, and then based on this last Monday, it seems like my protest is valid. It's
Well,
only because, like, okay, so but Raw,
well,
okay.
we're live. We're live. Just letting you know.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, should I continue this or should we wait?
Well, we'll wait. But like, okay, you're protesting. I caught a couple segments, but yeah, we are live now. Let me send this out to all of
Okay.
our fine viewers that
One second.
follow me on the socials.
Yeah,
And
normally when we have like a minute to talk first. I thought that I thought we were
well,
just
I
letting
thought
it.
like when you said you were ready, I'm like, all right, let's go. So yeah, normally.
Let's do it. This is better because now I have all this raw energy.
Raw energy, but not Monday Night Raw energy.
Hell no.
Okay, there's that for the Twitter, as Chris Jericho would say, and I'm still getting used to this new tablet. There we go.
No problem.
It looks
So we're only 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, by the way. 2 weeks away.
from Double or Nothing, you mean, or
No, no,
WrestleMania Backlash?
no. I mean, like WrestleMania was 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Because that's important to keep in mind. WrestleMania was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, we got someone in the chat. I see on the main screen over there. But let me. Oh, Michelle's here. Oh, awesome! Finally, YouTube showing me some love. And hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and I am joined on the other end of the tin cannon string this week by Eric Wade. Unfortunately, Easy is feeling a little under the weather. He's getting himself vaccinated, and sometimes that vaccination will kick your ass. So hopefully, Easy will be good to go next week.
Easy's feeling sick, getting healthy.
Exactly. So yeah, this will. But he's in the chat. He is in the chat.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, Easy?
What's up? But yeah, so if you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I met Eric at All In and Starcast. We became friends through pro wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. Our opinions of that or any other fans. We avoid insider terms because we're not wrestlers, we're not insiders. We are just marks. And, I mean, if you heard the cold open, the candid cold open, one of us is protesting WWE. So I'll just let you go on your rant. Like everything you were just wanting to say, just go right on ahead.
And kind of off script a little bit because this doesn't really matter to the main picture of things, whatever. But I'm going through a move soon, so I'm kind of dedicating my time elsewhere. And oh wait, let me turn on live chat, by the way. But also, so I have to choose wisely of like what I'm going to be doing on certain days. And then as far as Monday Night Raw is concerned, I kind of saw this coming, and I even sent a message to the group chat saying, you know what, I might just skip WWE this year. And everyone's like, well, give them NXT a chance because NXT is really good still. But even that, I just don't see watching long term because it just runs in circles and doesn't really get it does get called up. It gets killed immediately on site. So it's just weird to watch. But these past couple of years have been weird. And last year I got a full pass. Last year I'll give a full pass because of the COVID thing and whatever. But these last couple of years I've just noticed this downhill trend where at some point, I don't know when it started exactly, but at some point the Raw after WrestleMania just started just fucking sucking. And Raw after WrestleMania used to be almost as good as WrestleMania night itself, where it was like if you were going to that weekend, you were making sure to go to Raw because it was the next night at the same arena. The audience was going to be super hot for all the call-ups, all the excitement, the continued or brand new feuds at that point, or whatever was going to be brand new happening. It was a live wire. These last couple of years, it's just been like nothing's been going on. Or if there was a call up, it was kind of just like I said, just got squashed immediately, or it was not non-continuous storylines, or nowadays it's 50-50 booking, so it's just
Right.
going to be a match you saw on Mania, but then just again, or but then the other guy wins, or it just
Yeah,
weird shit.
I honestly
This
think.
past Mania, well, just really quick because I'm almost done.
Oh no, you're
This
fine.
last Mania, the next Raw was laughably just like wow.
Now,
Not only did they just drop the ball on anything exciting or any story building or any call ups or any whatever, and I guess they're rebuilding with the announce team and they're trying to get a new direction or just whatever. But at the
right.
same time, this last Raw now I chose actively not to watch it. And then I watched and it's not fair, I guess, but I watched the ups and downs the next day, and Miller even just tore this thing apart. It was just like, dude, what was this? And then I was like, yeah, just like, why would I spend time watching it if it was this bad? And that's obviously one person's opinion, but that's kind of the opinion of like community as a whole. Simon Miller has a reputation
Yeah,
because of who he is or
the
whatever.
community
But
as a whole, except for like, I mean, you're gonna have your some people like that we both personally know that are gonna be like, "Fucking Raw is great. This is great. What the fuck you doing watching on Wednesdays? This is where it's at."
well,
But
Easy saying that it was after 35
yeah,
when
yeah,
they
I
started
agree because like
declining.
I didn't go to the Raw after WrestleMania when we went to. All of us went to Mania 35. I just watched it on TV, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad I didn't go. Like, I'm kind of glad I'm just chilling.
Maybe that was the year.
Yeah, maybe that might have been the year. I can't remember how it was the Raw after WrestleMania 34
Oh, well,
in New
okay, so it kind
Orleans.
of makes sense because then the next year they started doing double nights. So instead of doing, well, let's just focus on the double night Mania instead of focusing on the
Right.
next
But it wasn't
day
even
Raw.
but it wasn't even really that good that year. Because I remember I was exhausted at WrestleMania Day because I mean I went to the
It was 10 hours.
10 hours, but like when I went to WrestleMania, I know y'all did significantly less than I did, but I did the WrestleCon Super Show on
Mhm.
Thursday. Like as soon as we land, go to the WrestleCon Super Show, which was actually probably one of the better shows I went to that weekend. The next day was WrestleCon itself during the day, Rev Pro Wrestling in the afternoon, then go from Midtown to Brooklyn to Barclays Center for NXT Takeover. Then
That was one
WrestleCon.
of my favorites.
That was a great show. WrestleCon the
Barclays
next.
is still one of my favorite venues of all that I've been to. But
The beer
continue.
was too expensive, but it wasn't a bad venue. Like I was literally in the last row and I could see well, so I will give Barclays Center that much. Then I went to WrestleCon itself to meet Shawn Michaels. Had to be up early for that one because like that was you had to get in line early to get to meet Shawn Michaels. They even kind of said he's got to go to the Hall of Fame at 1, so we'll issue refunds if you pre-ordered and he had to leave. And from what I hear,
Right.
he got through everybody, but still, did that. Then just killed time to go before the Madison Square Garden ROH New Japan show, and then WrestleMania was 10 hours long. So like by the time like I wanted to go to the Raw after WrestleMania, but like after that weekend, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm tired. I want a day of
Yeah.
not wrestling. And then I watched it on TV, and I'm like, well, is this gonna make me regret this? Who they gonna call up? What's gonna happen that's gonna make me regret this decision? I'm like, I don't regret this decision. I'm happy to be in the in the hotel room, just enjoying this. So, yeah,
Right.
Revival was 33, but yeah, it's very interesting you say that because like I'm cliff notesing the main roster as I still do or as I have been doing, but it's weird. It's like Raw is just bad, like bad.
It is. It's undefensible at this point.
Right, yeah, you're exactly right. Now, the SmackDown, on the other hand, is like
Right. Yeah. It is a better product.
it's a better show, but it's kind of like it is. We mention you mentioned 50-50 writing, and you mention inconsistency, and all these different things. And like that's what I feel like when I'm watching SmackDown. Like I think that I know you're personally not a fan of Tribal Chief Roman. I really enjoy it because like this is the role he was meant to play in wrestling. Like I'm legit like I'm angry for the right reasons when Roman Reigns comes on my screen. It's not like for the wrong reasons like it was in years past.
Before, yeah.
But it's
I'm
like
I'm with the same boat as Michelle. I'm reading the comments as you're talking to, but she's saying basically all the same. Is just that maybe just catch a pay per view once in a while, but pretty much just frustrated. Like
yeah,
I'm stopping to watch because out of frustration.
I think as far as WWE is concerned, if you watch the pay per view and you watch the pre show like countdown show, and you know.
And before the match, they always play a package of like,
they
here's
play that. And if there's something that was really good, you'll get like scroll through YouTube and like, oh hey, this actually looked interesting. Like, I heard this Roman Reigns segment was good. I'll watch that on YouTube. You know, like that's
Right.
kind of, if you do that with WWE, you're good. Like it's not like it's not like AEW where I'm going to get called a fanboy again, but if you've listened to kind of how I felt about some of the stuff AEW been doing in recent weeks, you'll know that I call shit as I see it. Like, you don't want to miss an episode of Dynamite because you don't know what you're going to miss. You don't know, like, who's going to debut or what kind of subtle thing happened on Dynamite or what have you, you know, like, your Dynamite rewards you for watching every week, whereas like Raw doesn't reward you.
Right.
You know.
And Miss Mason's here too, by the way.
Miss Ace, what's up?
Hello.
No,
I agree. If you watch Raw, it's almost just like a you can, I don't know if Vince is in control of just Raw or not control of SmackDown or who's writing. There's obviously a different quality of the two. I don't typically catch SmackDown just because the Friday thing and whatever, but Raw I do catch, or I'll hear about it or whatever, and it just reinforces my take of like, man, this is why I don't care about it anymore, or this is why it's not for me, or just whatever. But like you're saying, pay-per-views, they'll give you that package of like, here's why this match matters, and it'll be like a really good package to get you hyped for it and stuff. And I feel like that's going to be good enough at this point. But it's like, dude, literally, Raw is like so bad where it's like, why even try to find the good out of the bad? At this point, it's like, yeah, man, I like pizza, but you're asking me to eat bagel bites every Monday. Where it's like, can I just get?
That's a really good analogy. You know, because every now and again a bagel bite will hit the spot, but you want me to eat bagel bites every Monday. They're like the illegitimate, you know, son or daughter or child or whatever you want to call it of pizza.
Right. Yeah. And it's like I just want to, even if I can't just get a Little Caesars or whatever, I can just whatever. Like, but yeah, it's like I don't know, man. AEW. I don't know if we're gonna go through match by match or whatever, but
we will for AEW. We'll go through a few like just the cliff notes of Raw and SmackDown this week, and you know I do want to start talking more about NXT because I did enjoy NXT this week. I get what you're saying. Like once one guy gets called up, it throws it all for a tailspin. But it's like independent wrestling almost in a way. You know, back before Ring of Honor fell off the cliff, you know, that was kind of how I felt about ROH and
I know
Evolve. You know, it's like, hey, I really like this Tyler Black and Bryan Danielson storyline they got going on Ring of Honor, you know, and I want it to last, but eventually, you know, they called WWE offered Bryan Danielson a contract, and WWE offered Tyler Black a contract, and you know, but then you just kind of, I guess it's like I don't mind watching NXT, even though like I know that inevitable thing is looming over the product, because I'm so used to watching Ring of Honor or watching, you know, Evolve or all these different independent groups where I'm like really into it, and then eventually it's like, well, they're going to WWE, hope for the best, you know. NXT, well, they're going to the main roster. Maybe this one won't suck.
Well, but also it might be the financial aspect because we get that if they sign with WWE, it might just be 5 quick years, which does go by pretty quickly. and then when they return to the Indies after that 5 years, or if they even get released sooner or whatever, they still make their money, and then they come back as a bigger name. So it kind of just helps in the
Right.
end. So it might be a smart chess move on the long run, but at the same time, and they get to go to wrestling school, quote unquote, whatever, because they get to
Right.
go to developmental and start from there. But I don't know, man. For the most part, it's just out of frustration where I just choose to like be like, you know what, WWE can just be on the back burner for now because I took a break from them for a while, and like I said, it took my brother-in-law to bring me back into it years later and made it fun with just. But it was good when because that was I remember one of the first pay-per-views that we watched together as like like our first like official family or whatever because him and my sisters first really started dating and stuff like that. Was the Mania that Undertaker lost for the first time against Brock.
Right.
And I never saw, and because I knew the significance of it, and I liked wrestling at that point, but I never seen somebody show so fucking shocked before in their life. When I looked over and saw this guy's face, and I was just like, yeah, this guy loves wrestling. Like this cool. But like
Real
at
quick
that
in the
point,
chat, Easy,
wrestling
I
was
gotta
good.
ask: is the casino game a little? Have they gone with some more AEW themes? Because whenever I had it on my phone, it was just simply like, other than it being an AEW logo, like it was just regular gambling. Like the cards didn't even have like, you know, AEW theme to it. Like that's something one of my criticisms of the AEW casino game. It's like, okay, like why can't the Ace be a Kenny Omega card, and like why can't the Queen be Brandy, or and the King be Cody, and the Jack be Jericho, or something like that. You know, like why can't they have AEW faces on all the cards? You know.
Well, then what the hell does AEW have anything to do with it? Why would they even put their name on it?
Added logos and some pictures and something. That's it. Yeah. I mean, those mobile games, like, those are, like, easy money grabs for anybody. Because, like, you want to play, and then they're like, oh, you want to keep playing for the day? Well, you're out of chips. But if you spend $10 of your own money, you'll have 1,000 chips, and you can play for another 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
I mean, like, it's fine. I just deleted it because I'm just kind of like,
That sounds like one of those casino when like you go to the casino and they have all those different games and they'll just like you know just like little slot machine games or whatever and they'll have that
right,
one. AEW casino card game, but it's like has nothing to do with AEW. It's just there for it's
right.
like a penny slot machine or just whatever.
Oh, we got Ray in the house.
What's up, Ray?
So, real quick, just going to go over SmackDown, because, like, that rant basically just says all that needs to be said about WWE at the moment. You know, when it comes close to pay-per-view time, you know...
But yeah, to be fair, SmackDown is good. It's just, I don't catch it particularly live or whatever. I'll catch the highlights, and I always do hear that it is better and stuff. But same thing, at the pay-per-views, they will hype up the matches and stuff, so I don't really need to dedicate the time or whatever to catch it live if I can't. But also, yeah, just Raw is just like I said, just pay-per-views will do for now because it's like I've given them chance, and it's just like, man, I don't have time for it at this point. So,
well, Pat McAfee is on the announce crew. They had
that's
a real they had a good interview to start with, and then it just went to hell. Like Ray and Dominic versus Ray versus Otis with Dominic, and it's just like, why? Like, who cares? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had a match not worthy of their abilities. You had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Not a bad match, but they're WWE's like bastardized tag team wrestling in that company so bad. It's like I don't care when they have a tag title match. Like,
we'll talk about it because AJ and Almost haven't even appeared on Raw since they won the belt.
Exactly.
Mania.
Then you have. The next match that happened, I was really disappointed in because of the two women involved. I thought it would be a better match, but it was Natty and Baszler. But it was just like, okay, like it did. You got two of the best women in your company, and like the restraints they put on that match was just so bad.
Right.
And then Jay versus Cesaro, and like other than the ending, it was a good match. it makes me like after Cesaro beat Seth, and obviously he's wrestling Jey Uso, who's in the family. Like it has me hoping that we're going to get a Cesaro main event run, but just no Bryan, no Edge, no nothing. Just
Well, but just a quick side note before I just want to take a step back real quick. Natty, I really want to see Natty and Tamina as a team, though. I want to see. I wish they would have won the belts at Mania because I think that's a cool ass team. Them too,
that's fair.
especially if WWE needs the team division or women, whatever. I like the fact that they both have legacy behind them, or whatever, and they do stuff like that. Makes them a cool team, and you can make them. It's an easy toy to sell too, or whatever. So
Right.
it's like, why not pull it? Why keep on dragging it out with Baszler and Jax unless they're trying to break the record or something? But it's like, man, just drop those belts already, please. But yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Just kind of, it's yeah, just it is what it is. It's like it's such a mixed bag, because there's things there that do need talked about. There's, I like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people that the both of us, mingle with, call us AEW fanboys, and I mean, I can kind of see your point, but on the flip side of things, it's like this is such like a mixed bag. It's like I want to give this show the chance to like it, and I will mention, there are some things that I am enjoying, but it's like, but what is it? Like, what about, what is it about this that makes, like, and if they ever stumble upon this, please enter the chat and tell me, what is it about this product that makes you pump your fist so fucking loud and so fucking hard that you're just like ready for AEW to slip up so you can be all like, boom, told you so. Like that's how you are with the WWE. What does that? What do you see in this product that makes it like to where you feel like it has, like, you can have this kind of passion around it? Like this is. I ask that sincerely. Like, I'm all for liking what you like. I will never bash anybody for having their own tastes. But, like, this is not a product that lends itself to, told you it was great in your face, your sucks. But that's how WWE fans are. Like, AEW ratings went down. Boom, bitches. And it's like, okay. Or,
I think it's more because, like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of different. It's just what's in your taste. Because, like, for instance, I know people who are like, oh, well, AEW, those guys aren't big enough. They're just like, they're smaller guys. I can't get into it. It's like, okay, well, WWE has big guys, but they don't have, like, the matches aren't as good side by side. But if you want match quality or whatever, but then if you want, like, stories or characters, I guess that's where WWE is. So it's like,
but the stories and the characters aren't that good.
And they get switched around all the because
exactly.
Using my nephew as a reference, or whatever, he did, like, I remember not too long ago, he got the Heavy Machinery tag team toys as a present. And he loved them, and then all of a sudden, Heavy Machinery got split up, and then now what are they doing? Nothing. It's like stuff like that, where it's like, man, they have characters, they have stuff to work with, but for whatever reason, they don't write them properly, or don't use them good enough, or they don't, like, there's no really good excuse not to do good. Right. But WWE just lets shit slip through the fingers.
I will go on record as to say this, like, and this isn't a knock on. This is going to piss some people off, but, like, WWE's roster is second to none. We're going to, this isn't me sliding the AEW roster or the New Japan roster or anything. Like, all three companies have very strong rosters, but you, like, on paper, when you look at everything the WWE has, like,
it's true.
It should be the best. And that's not me sliding.
And they paid
Kenny
for
Omega.
They paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it's
It's
not like
true, and if you combine all the NXT and all the WWE talent together, whatever, yeah, like you're saying, they do side by side have the best talent, or they can have the best storylines. There's no excuse not to. But for whatever reason, I mean Vince, I guess, whatever.
right.
But but it's just one of those things where it's like, it's frustrating to watch. But my only gripe with AEW, because I know a lot of people like complain about this or that or whatever, is like week after week, it just feels like a good episode, good episode, good episode, good episode, good episode. Where after a while, it just nothing catches my attention. Where it's like, okay, well, like last night, I watched it twice, and I was just like, dude, like what, like. It just felt like watching it last week, or the week before that, or the week
Right.
before that, and it's just like it's all good, it's fine. I'm not looking for something to complain about, but at the same time, it's like there's no reason to be like, okay, well, let me just, I don't. It's just weird,
Right. I mean,
weird position
well,
because
that's kind of like what I've said, like in our private chats. You're like, hey, why don't we talk about New Japan, or why don't we talk about this? It's like there's not a lot to say. It's like it was a good match. I highly suggest you check out this match.
well,
Or
hopefully, yeah, that's what I was going to propose earlier. Is that hopefully, especially this year, everything starts getting more back to normal. This Sunday, especially with the pay per view coming up with Impact,
right.
this I guess tonight they had their episode or whatever, and it seemed everything seems pretty chill. But it's
I
like
do. On a
maybe
sidebar about Impact, they have a 45-minute like Road to show on their YouTube channel talking about Swan and Omega, and I highly advise anybody to check that out. It's like a really well done package, like where they talk about like the co-promotion, and you kind of get like the whole. They talk to all the like at least the Impact talent. They don't really talk to a lot of AEW guys outside of like JR and a few AEW like officials, like but you like you get like the from a storyline perspective, like the Impact, thoughts on AEW coming in, and they're not like oh fuck you, but they're kind of like who do these guys think they are? We're working just as hard as them. It's kind of a different, it's an interesting light for AEW. And I enjoyed it, and it was like really hyped up. Like, if Rich Swann wins this match, it's still like the stupidest decision in the history of pro wrestling, outside of putting the belt on David Arquette or Jay White. But it's it's still like they've still set up a good story to where it's like, oh, okay, like now, other than like here's some motivation and here's some pressure on Rich Swann. It was really, really, really well done. Um,
yeah, then Moose's promo tonight too kind of made it
yeah,
feel like
that's something
Swan
else.
might have a chance.
That is something very interesting Michelle just brought up, but it's like, they haven't had Rich Swann on Dynamite at all, and it's like, yeah, that's one of my big criticisms. We're all over the place tonight, but it's one of my big criticisms with AEW. It's like, okay, so you have all this stuff going on with the Elite. You have all this going on with Kenny Omega. He's wanting to collect belts. He's wanting to do this, that, and the other. The only thing Kenny Omega has done since he's gotten the title, feud with Jon Moxley. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. There's been like no... Like, everybody's saying, oh, Hangman's probably going to get a shot, double or nothing. It's like, they haven't even, like, as good as Hangman is, as much as I want to see him be world champion, and I'm invested in Hangman, they haven't done anything to sell me on Hangman Page as a contender in the next 5-6 weeks. They got to get on that shit, because they've just been so busy, at least as far as the title is concerned, the world title, it's just been, oh, here's more shit with Moxley. Oh, they're going to do some more stuff with Moxley, which, I get it. I'm not a Moxley's their most popular superstar, so of course you gotta put him in a featured role. It's not terrible, but it's one of those things like change the letters of that organization, and they'd be getting significantly more flack for this, I believe.
But I think they're finally going in the right direction with the women's division, because Britt Baker is coming out and then basically challenging for that.
Well, we'll get to that. We get to that when we talk Dynamite. Let's skim Raw. Shit. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle had a match. Oh, can you come up with two people I give less of a shit about?
RK Bro.
Yeah.
right?
And they both like the marijuana too.
Huh? RK bro, huh? Like that like nudging you with my elbow. That's basically like Vince's pitch is RK bro, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Getting on TV, that's good
Um,
shit.
and then
I like that. Put that on. Write that in.
and then Asuka versus Charlotte had a good main event. That's about all I can say about Raw. Somebody else has anything they'd like to add about Raw in the chat? I will be happy to listen. But
All I have to say is I'm happy that Rhea Ripley is finally getting her just due, whatever.
yes,
But like I said, even if like because no one could have predicted the future or whatever, but if she would have just not lost to Charlotte a few years ago, she would have been a mega superstar right now. And right now, she just feels like the person who has the second chance. Or
now
whatever.
that's an interesting point, Easy. You know, he put in there. Yeah, I feel like we're seeing Mox Kingston fight the Bucks for the tag belts. Okay, like that's not a bad idea. But again, if this were WWE, we would be going, you know, why are they getting a shot?
Again.
No, we'd be going, why are these guys getting a shot at the tag belts? You know, look at all these other great tag teams. Best Friends have been killing it. There's a storyline about SCU breaking up if they don't win the tag belts. And here's,
Oh yeah.
you know, we'd be like saying, you know, if this were a WWE decision, we would be shitting on it, going like, you know, here they go, they're having a bunch of singles guys jump the line again. How shitty! But because it's AEW, I'm not saying anybody in this chat, but you know, like the Twitterverse and the Redditverse and everybody, you know, that they're okay with it because, well, it's AEW and it's the Young Bucks and it's Jon Moxley. Why would you not want to see that? It's the greatest thing ever. And it's not that I don't want to see it. It's just kind of like it rubs me the wrong way because it's, you know, there are so many better tag teams than Mox and Kingston. I'm not saying they're bad or that it's not a good story, but I'm saying, fuck, when's the Best Friends gonna get a shot again? When's you know, fucking
right.
H2,
H
the Hybrid 2, yeah.
Hybrid
the Hybrid 2.
I always want to say. I just always want to say H2O. What? How do you say your initials?
I don't know.
HB2,
TH2.
They have some
TH2.
Yeah, so weird. But anyway, I agree.
I'm not even a TH2 fan. Like they're not my style of wrestler, but like they're more worthy of a tag title shot than Mox and Kingston. And yeah.
But I would be at that point of a WWE fan where it's like, dude, why are you stuffing those guys down my throat, Moxley? Mm-hmm. He's in everything, and now he's gonna, like you're saying, he's gonna go straight to the top. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do in the tag division or whatever.
Easy, like that's not a terrible idea, but I'm also again gonna kind of give you a different perspective on this. That is a WWE trope if there ever was one. Fuck, we got those goddamn tag belts. You two, battle royal at the fucking pay-per-view. Good shit, pal. Like,
yeah. Everyone gets their shot.
Yeah, throwing all the teams
Everyone
together
gets a paycheck.
to me takes away, unless like the storytelling is just superb.
And then every Dynamite we get a 6-woman tag match because every girl has to get used.
Yeah. Unless the storytelling for like a 4-way tag title ladder match is just like out of this world, like similar to like the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and Hardy Boys days, like where I know that's 3 teams, not 4, but my point remains the same. Unless it's like along those lines of storytelling where the storyline is just like great. That to me is just like we go nothing to do with like if they did something like that, that would be to me like WWE going like, fuck it, just go out there, go out there and do the belts, just go, you know, who gives a shit? Yeah, there's so many like AEW has the best tag division in pro wrestling, and that to me is not hyperbole.
Keep on doing tournaments. But tournaments where they're kind of like their sweet spot for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only thing that's kind of got me hoping that some of this stuff the Double or Nothing scene might get a little bit more clear. Even though there's not a whole hell of a lot of time to build towards it is after Blood and Guts, maybe things will be, a little bit more clear. But then again, after Blood and Guts, you got like 3 weeks, I think, of TV to get ready for Double or Nothing. Like, we criticize the fuck out of WWE for doing that for Mania, but like for all intents and purposes, AEW is doing that for arguably their biggest show. So it's like, why are we supposed to give them a pass again?
Right. Well, I mean, they do a lot of their storytelling through YouTube, which can also be, people can also be like, what the fuck is
that's something else. Like, if there's something
YouTube,
there's something important that happens on BTE or Dark Elevation, that shit needs to be on Dynamite. That just go like, and recently on Being the Elite, here's the clip of what happened. And recently, and on Monday on Dark Elevation, here's this. Ricky Starks had a hell of an interview before his match with Hangman that probably the audience at large didn't see because like, oh, that's on Dark. That doesn't mean anything. Like, if you want us to care about Dark, fucking like give us a little tease of, hey, this shit happened on Dark, and you should probably watch Dark because more shit's gonna happen on Dark.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea too, just to give like a little snippet of like, oh, here's
something
an interview, but then you have to catch the rest on Dark if you want to, whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into Dynamite. We've ranted for so long. Let's finally talk Dynamite. Speaking of Ricky
Starks. Well, but just quickly too, I agree with Michelle where she says Kingston and Moxley is a good tag team. I want to see him maybe in a match or two, or with the storyline and whatever, but not near the belt.
Oh no, definitely not.
Don't put him in the in that division. But yeah, I want to see, like how you're saying too, is I want to see all the tag teams get their just due, not just FTR or whatever. But yeah, like the Hybrid 2 or like SCU.
Private Party. SCU's been doing nothing but winning on Dark with this storyline of when they lose a match. They're gonna split up, so it's like, why isn't this being mentioned on Dynamite? And I know that it's like,
this could be a hot storyline.
Yeah, why isn't this getting mentioned on any, like
every Dynamite? This could be the hottest thing. Every Dynamite is like, oh shit, are they gonna lose this time? And face bigger and better opponents each time. That'd be dope.
Yeah, remember maybe you weren't watching wrestling in 2007, late 2007. That's when Ric Flair made the announcement that he got put in the situation by Vince, like, the next time you lose a singles match, your career is over. And then
no, not that.
Okay,
point,
well, and then every.
But I love shit like that. It's like video game kind of boss kind of shit.
Right. Well, I mean, like it's just everything. Like, Ric Flair would wrestle. He'd have a different opponent. He'd get out, and then it'd get to a pay-per-view. And he's wrestling this guy, and oh no, is MVP gonna end it? Oh, he skates by. Oh, is Mr. Kennedy gonna end it? He skates by, and then it built up to, hey, I want to wrestle Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, and then Shawn's like, oh, I don't want to be the one that ends your career, and what makes you think you're gonna end my career? And it was really good. That could be done.
That would work so perfect for SVU because then they can face the Bucks. Yeah, I'd love it, but that's. But they're not using it. They're not using that storyline when they set it up.
And we saw when Kazarian wrestled Christian, Kazarian can fucking go still. If CD is I know he's getting a little up there in age. If he isn't the man he used to be,
maybe
then let Kazarian carry the ball, and then we'll see how awesome Kazarian is, and then we could.
Well, when they split up, WWE,
we could easily put Kazarian in a singles role at that point, and we.
If we're not giving AEW any passes, why are we doing it here? You're gonna split up Scorpio Sky and then put him with another tag team with Ethan Page? Okay.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That makes no sense. Why not just have him and tag with SCU still, and then they could have had that situation of next time we lose because CB is gonna be. A trainer or just whatever. Next time we lose, then we split up. They could have done this thing like we're saying every week. They could have been facing a new team where it's building up. Finally lose. I'd pay to see that match for a pay-per-view. Finally lose, and then they split up. Scorpio Sky then goes on to do his own thing, whatever. But I don't know, man. They're not. So yeah, definitely like not giving them a pass on this because
Yeah, it's
it writes itself. It really does. Where it's
mhm.
like I think they're not. They're trying to get all their shit in. They're just trying to get like as much input. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
Best way to put it.
Yeah, there's too much going on right now, and they do need a secondary show that's not dark. So that way, or if they are going to use dark, they need to tell people you need to be fucking watching dark. You need to watch dark.
Okay,
You
but
know?
dark elevation was not the answer because that's just dark elevation light. You don't go to oh
Yeah,
man. You don't go from B to C. You go to B to A number or I don't know. In comic terms, it would just be issue number 0, which wouldn't make any
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Or it's like a
Instead of
prequel.
it would be like okay, you want to tell more stories about what's going on with Batman. So you have Batman, and then you tell the secondary Batman stories about like what Batgirl is doing, in a Batgirl book. But then instead of doing that, what they've done with Elevation is, oh hey, we know we have a greater Batman universe here, but instead of telling stories about Batgirl and Robin and Red Hood, we've created a new Batman book that talks about when Batman was training in Japan for his martial arts skills. That's
Yeah,
essentially what Elevation is. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not like when you have when they need
it
more
feels
time
more
for
the same.
yeah.
They have a obvious difference where it's kind of like major talent versus like minor talent
And
kind of
that's
a thing.
fine, but it's not
It is,
it's not what they
but it's
need right now.
predictable.
Yes, it's not.
Yeah,
That's not the secondary show they need. The secondary show they need is like, okay, they. But
like another Dynamite.
before the brand split, like SmackDown was almost as important as Raw. You know,
Right.
you had to watch SmackDown. What the fuck, The Rock got beaten down by Vince McMahon on Raw, so you wanted to tune in to SmackDown to see The Rock kick his ass, and they did it really well at that point in time. But now they're, that's what
This is
AEW needs, and then so that way you can kind of put more attention on SCU. You can put more
this is
attention.
WWE. This is WWE making Sunday Night Heat, and then going from Sunday Night Heat to Superstars. Where
Right?
it's like,
Yeah,
wait, are you
that's a
getting
great way
worse
of put.
each time?
Yeah, that's a great
It's
way of
like
putting it.
you're not supposed to get worse each time. You're supposed to like build it up. Like
Right. But still getting to the meat and potatoes of Dynamite. Starks versus Hangman Page. Good match. Really, Ricky Starks is underrated.
still, yeah. Well,
Still,
he'll have his. He's like 23. He's like
yeah,
24, 23.
he'll
He'll
have his.
have his time.
Trent versus Pentagon. I really like the pairing they have there with Trent, Penta, and Alex, especially when they made fun of Sue, and then they got. I don't like them making fun of Sue, but I like how Trent reacted. My only real problem with this match, I guess, I expected, it wasn't a bad match, but the people involved, I expected a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Right.
But it was still a good match. Interview with the Pinnacle. Definitely, everybody needs to seek this out because this was great shit.
Yeah. Yeah. MJF put on a great promo.
And definitely like Wardlow, he's not the best talker, but very interesting how they worked Wardlow into that, and just really really cool. Just great promo. The promo work with MJF and Jericho leading up to Blood and Guts has been great. Hikaru Shida versus Ty Conti. Ty's getting a lot better. She's indicative. Her improvement is indicative of where the women's division is going in AEW right now, and but unfortunately the match was overshadowed to me by Britt Baker coming out and saying that she's the number one contender now, and I'm really hoping they have that match at Double or Nothing, and I'm really hoping Britt Baker wins. And I like Hikaru Shida a lot.
Britt's gonna win 100%. Britt. So Conti versus Shida is really Michelle saying it's so good. Super Conti. I don't know because everyone's the word in the internet community and whatever. WWE was such a mistake for letting her go. Whatever. I don't know if she'd be this big or this doing this well in the WWE structure, but here
Right.
she's doing pretty hot. This is a good match, and it could have gone either way. Where Ty Conte has like a winning streak for a while
there were
now.
times
Where it's
I mean, to me, like you know a match is really good when it's a foregone when you know the ending of the match, especially like on TV or a house show or something like that. When you know the ending of the match and then you forget it, and that's why this was a good match. You know,
yeah.
there were times where I'm like, oh shit, they actually gonna put the belt on her right now, and then they didn't, and we're like, well, that's to be expected. And then now, because the money match is Shida and Britt.
But with Ty, they did exactly what we're saying they should be doing with the tag division. She's been building up, and this is her first big loss where it was like, fuck, this is the one where you bought into it because of that. So, but then how you're saying too, Britt coming out, it's written on the wall. She's definitely winning. It's her time. It's time for Shida to finally lose the belt, whatever. But I'm super excited at Britt, and that's definitely going to be a money making pay per view match because it's Britt's. She needs the belt. She doesn't need it now or whatever, but
Right.
she needs to have it soon. It's her time to have it.
And I would have called this match of the night, but well, more on that later. Inner Circle interview. This is one like as great as Jericho did last week or a couple weeks ago.
He slipped up.
Yeah, he slipped up a lot. Like I don't know if he was having a little bit of the bubbly before he went out there or what, but like yeah, that kind of took me out. This whole thing was.
What did he didn't rhyme his little song. He didn't plan it out.
Yeah, he didn't plan it out, and he like it was like it wasn't terrible, but it was one of those. It's just like. You know,
he was smiling too. He knew he fucked up.
Yeah, he knew he fucked up too. It's like just gonna, swing and a miss
Play
right there. Swing and a miss. You know, he still got on base, but he didn't hit that homer. Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall.
Billy Gunn, dude. Holy shit! I was really surprised watching this. I was like, dude, literally for how old he is, you wouldn't think that at all.
Right. I mean, it wasn't a great match by any stretch of the imagination, but Billy Gunn was the perfect opponent for a situation like this, with them trying to build up this new faction, them trying to give some credibility to QT Marshall, because, I mean, yes, it was part of the storyline, but a lot of people just see QT Marshall as I know I avoid the insider terms, but I can't think of anything else to say here, a jobber that's Cody's friend. So you gotta have matches like this to make people actually accept QT Marshall in a different role, and they did well with it.
I'd rather see QT kind of like as MVP, where he just runs the Hurt Business with these new guys, not necessarily in matches, but kind of like an enforcer.
Yeah, Santana was good. Yeah,
but yeah, QT, whatever they're gonna do with them. I guess the Diamond Cutter is just free range because they both use
apparently, yeah. Christian versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I like Powerhouse Hobbs a lot, and this was a good little match, not a great one. But it was just it furthered the storyline. Powerhouse Hobbs he's breaking out, but he still needs seasoning. That's about all I can say about him. Like he's dude's gonna be great one day. But he's still he's still got a few more things he's gotta take care of. But Powerhouse Hobbs is gonna be he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
I want to see Billy Gunn versus Christian now too, though, because I know they can both. Yeah, if they can both still go and they both have chemistry from WWE days or whatever, I bet they can fucking put on a hell of a match.
Right, and main event time. Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy for the TNT Championship. My match of the night for this
This is
week.
great. I wish Jungle Boy would have won, to be
I
honest.
really do. I was but one of the things that I liked the most about this match was like, okay, so they're both good guys going into this match, but the sentimental
Yeah.
favorite is gonna be Jungle Boy because he's fucking Jungle Boy.
Yeah, he's
So-
like the sweet one.
So both Darby and Sting, kind of acting as his second, they didn't like go complete bad guy, but you could tell Darby switched up his wrestling style. Sting was a little bit more of a, little bit more pushy.
Yeah.
They didn't just completely turn and go all, oh, I'm the bad guy now, blah, for one night, and then go, oh, well, shucks, forgive me, it's all over now. They didn't go completely in the other direction, but they just tweaked just enough to where you knew, like, okay, Darby's the bad guy now. It was something.
Or they were more aggressive.
Yeah, a little bit more aggressive. He's not breaking the hold right away. He's kind of, he's gonna go to the face a little bit more, and I like that. Like that's something, it wasn't, it wasn't so blatantly in your face that you're just like, oh well, what are they doing? But it was enough that if Darby tried to wrestle completely as the good guy, the match wouldn't have been as good because Jungle Boy and that underdog character needs something to rally against. And this time he got it, and I loved it. It was, I don't know if it's like on my match of the year list, or it's on my match of the year list now, but I don't foresee it being on at the very end of the year. But it was definitely a damn fine main event. That's for and my match of the night. And again, I mentioned this. There's like so many people on. Where are you at? Sound like there's a bunch of music going on, but
I don't know. I think it's like airplane or something.
okay.
Passing by.
So many people on the internet, like anytime somebody loses, like, oh, they're getting buried. This was again. Sound like a broken record. I wanted Jungle Boy to win, and I've said that I'm kind of hoping that somebody else does win the TNT title soon. But this was also something that still, even in defeat, Jungle Boy got elevated. He's not losing any momentum by not winning this match.
I know, but eventually they got to do something with him. Because this Statlander just abducted you, Eric. Yeah. I can't really speak because there's somebody next to me. But Chris Statlander definitely did not abduct me right now and does not have a alien probe in my head. No.
Well, if you're gonna be abducted by anybody, be abducted by Chris Statlander.
The best. You can hear the best friends. The music in the background. What is it?
The Pixies.
Ah, shit. Pixies. Yeah.
But
Jungle Boy's only 23. See, same dilemma. They can
Jungle
afford
Boy's
these
more developed than like Hobbs or some of these other young talents, though.
Well, but even at their young age, they can afford we're looking at them as if they're in their 10th year in WWE, where it's like, man, why don't they know better, or why aren't we getting better,
Right.
whatever. These guys still have 10 years to go or more,
Right.
hopefully. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, man, you're getting Jungle Boy versus Darby Allin for the TNT title in the main event now.
Mhm.
Just like that's like watching KO and Sami Zayn 10 years ago in Ring of Honor or whatever. Just imagine what's going to happen sooner or later or whatever. It's like, man.
And we kind of skipped over this one part. I do think that the person sort of destined to take the belt off Darby at this point is Miro.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because we skipped over. He had a vignette, and we skipped over the Elites vignette with which I did not like that vignette where it's like okay, it's cool that Moxley's run their trailer over, but it's like to me it came across so cheap and so bad. Okay, they run in there and then they find him and they're gone. It's like, could you not at least splice in a clip of the Elite running away? Like if he would have done that, I wouldn't have found it to look as hokey. That's just.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, they kind of did look funky a little bit because, especially Eddie Kingston's killing their shoes and shit. Like
Well,
you
that,
couldn't
that,
have
that
had.
part didn't
Yeah.
bother me, but like, okay, so
Well, but
they
you
they,
couldn't
they,
have a
they
little bit of payoff of what they did, or like, yeah, like we
right.
gotta go. Let's, and then they snuck out the back, or
Yeah, or at
something.
least like show them like, oh god, we gotta go. They're running. Oh, and then they go and
These
they're like,
guys
where
are
you at?
crazy.
Okay, let's steal their
Yeah,
shoes. That's fine, but like instead it just looked like it was so cheap. Like I know that John Moxley is not actually ramming their trailer with them inside it. I know that, but edit it
they
to where
should
it
have
looks
shown
like they
it,
actually
man.
were. Because this time, the
Tony
way they
Khan.
shot. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Tony Khan really should have used this as an excuse to drop the trailer from a crane and have it explode.
Like the PX
Oh
Express.
man, they could have so fucking shot shots at WWE at that point, and then just like the next shot is the elite or whatever, just like the next day, like nothing happened.
Exactly. But like, even just
No, I agree with
if
you.
they would have like been
It
like,
was pretty hokey.
yeah, like it was kind of blatant. Like we shot this part, the elite weren't there, and we shot this other part. It's like, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Michelle was saying this episode's not as good as the next, or wasn't as good. No, that's my frustration is that they're all good,
yeah. Like
but
it
it's
was a
like,
good
and if
episode. It
you're
was just
really digging, it's like going to your favorite pizza place and getting the good pizza every time, but then you finally complain because they didn't give you a cheese packet or a pepper packet or whatever.
right.
It's like, but did that really matter? No, but it's like I'm just looking for things to complain about at this point.
I'm
Week
looking for
after
things to
week after
complain.
week after week, it's good, but that's my frustration with it. It's like where are we going with it? Because it kind of just feels like it's running in circles. Whereas WWE, as bad as it could be, at least they always have one thing that feels like it's elevating or like going somewhere,
Right.
or like
Well,
one.
see, I disagree because
But they
I
have
feel a lot of
more
things are
room to
being
work with.
lots of things are being elevated. Like there's storylines that like I'm hyped for, and there's a lot more hype from AEW. But my problem with AEW as a whole right now is I I know you can kind of see what they need to do, and you're just kind of here going like, okay, where is it? Like you've been so
Right.
you've been so good about fixing these things for so long. Here are some like they fixed a lot of big things that went wrong really quickly. With the bad ending to that pay-per-view, to the Dark Order being bad. Like when they realized that, oh shit, this is bad. They changed it, got rid of it, and they've done a fairly good job. I mean, like I'm not gonna say they've been perfect. I mean, because they haven't been, but they've done a fairly good job. But like everything we mentioned with like, where's this stuff with SCU? Where's why aren't they? Why'd they break up? Why'd they break fucking Scorpio Sky off of SCU just to put him with Ethan Page? Why? All these little things where you're like, I mean, you did such a good job fixing the big stuff. Why can't you just fix the little stuff? Like it should just work. Like it could be easily fixed.
Right.
It's you've built a house. You've been able to build a house. You've been able to lay floor. You've been able to put a new roof on a house. But right now you're like, oh that's the hinges are off this door. Okay, well why don't you just get some screws and a drill and screw them in? I mean, it shouldn't take that long. It'll take like what, maybe 10 minutes? But look at my beautiful home. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. Look at that roof. I just did that roof. Okay, that's a great roof. But like, you can fix that door. Like I can help you. I'm right here. Yeah, no. Look at my floor.
It's like, but didn't you see all the lawn we just did, or like the YouTube shows? Didn't you see the lawn we just did, and then we even cleared the gutter, which is elevation
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, yeah, but you didn't fucking fix the scene.
Yeah, like the sink leaking. Like all you gotta do is take a wrench and you can fix it. Like it's not hard, and it's not like you're really having to do this. I watched Tranquilo Club's video. Like it's a good perspective. The one thing Tranquilo Club's videos, the only the best video he did was the time they went. I shouldn't say it's the best video they did, but I think the one that shows how good of a like why he's a person that I still, of all the people on YouTube, I don't watch a lot of them anymore, at least when it comes to wrestling. Is the one where like it showed just like how bad the ROH versus NXT night was back in New Orleans, because it shows like actually he's objective and he isn't like just he isn't a blind loyalist like some people are on YouTube. But yeah, he's got good content. Love to have him on the podcast, the Geeking Out podcast. Like I've had some other YouTubers, that would be a great get. But yeah, just like AEW is still really good, but there's so many things that they could fix, you know? I think Eric's
Yeah.
gone. Oh, there he is.
Oh. I'm just eating a granola bar.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. I'm on the keto diet for a month, trying to just lose some quick weight, so that way when I go to Squared Circle Expo in May and I'm looking at the pictures, I'm not like, oh look, I'm a fat tub of trash with Britt Baker and Kane and Dustin. Yeah, look at me.
Stop drinking. They said I just learned recently. The thing that made the most sense is you can't outwork a bad diet. So as long as you just eat good or just don't drink or whatever, but just keep your regular workout regimen, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I've cut back. Well, even with keto, you got to cut back on the drinks. Now, I saved all my carbs for some Michelob Ultra and hard seltzer tonight.
No, don't eat them. No, don't do it. Just don't do it.
This is my cheat. I can't cheat on keto. This is my cheat. Is a few of those. But yeah, that's pretty well the show this week. I appreciate everybody for checking it out. Appreciate Eric for hanging out. I hope he gets feeling better after that.
Yeah, those shots affect everyone different. So hopefully it feels better.
Yeah, the first one didn't bother me except for hurt my arm. The second one made me feel like death. But yeah, that's my goal, and we'll let you know next week. We will not be live on Thursday. It will be a Friday show because I will be. If you're in the area, feel free to check out the show. I will be at Anna Fight Underground Thursday night, supporting some local wrestlers, quite a few of which have been on the Geeking Out podcast, and check that out too. I know a lot of people haven't checked some of those out. Definitely check out the Geeking Out podcast, the interviews. Those are great. You can find out about a lot of great other comic artists and wrestlers that maybe you haven't heard of yet. So I'm going to plug my
other videos. Is that the
videos.
one with Sammy coming up?
What's up?
Is that the one with Sammy Guevara?
No. Sammy's not going to be there. Sammy's going to be at Squared Circle Expo, but he's not going to be at Fight Underground. Fight Underground has Gary J., who's been on the show. Anakin Murphy, who's also been on the podcast. They're going to wrestle there, so it's like a hardcore promotion, but they got some good talent there. And if you're in the area, check it out. And they are on IndependentWrestling.tv if you have that app. So getting them a free shill. You're welcome, Dalton. And yeah, I'll be there next week. So we'll be doing the show on Friday evening. In about the same time, just on Friday, and yeah. So, thank you all for watching. Eric, anything for sale on Macari you want to talk about?
Yeah, I hope your guys' name is Eli because anything you see signed on the wall is for sale.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know who that guy is either. Kayfabe, motherfucker! Yeah.
Sorry. No, yeah. I just posted a bunch of shit and I'm moving soon, so anything you want to buy to help me out, do it. A bunch of spawn. It's not even like stuff that you want really, unless you're like, it's like a very niche shop. It's like early '90s comic book fans only, but pretty much.
Yeah, and speaking of '90s comics, you should check out my collection comic of the week. It drops every Sunday too.
Oh, that was a good one too. Yeah, I've been watching those lately, but Yeah, the X-Men one particularly, you need all
Right.
the covers to make it a
I
connected
know.
thing to make him.
I know. I
Yeah,
know. I need that. I need that. But I got a fun. The month of May is going to be really fun with Collection Comic of the Week. You want to talk about ridiculous comics? Collection Comic of the Week in May is going to be really bizarre. So that's my teaser. So, but for Eric, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just marks. Oh, wait, you need my social media page. Facebook.com/AthleticGeekA9, Twitter @Athletic_GeekA9, Instagram @AthleticGeekA9, and Patreon. If you want to help this channel out
yeah.
financially,
Then Easy
Patreon.com
has
slash
let's do it, a plug for Easy. He does
yeah,
social
at Eric
media stuff.
Zarins on Twitter. But also check out my other videos because I'm really excited about the direction my other videos are going too. Um, Especially Collection Comic of the Week. I'm really pumped up about where that's going. Not just remember, we're not just pro wrestling. We're comic books, we're anime, we're gaming. Check it all out.
OnlyFans. Check it out. Sign it up. We have it. Do it.
Subscribe, like, comment, share. We are just marks, and we're out.
Yeah, I just made $148 mistake too.